First, for the visiting Upper St. Clair team. In goal, Scott Matthews. Number 9, Jimmy Bellick. Number 7, Phil Dormish. Number 3, Steve Kyle. Number 13, Karsten Michelle. Number 23, Joey Palladino. Number 2, Danny Poljak. Number 14, Joe Rust. Number 5, David Steen. Number 15, Will Sullivan. And number 8, Matt Wilson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pine Richland Tournament, the finals, the championship game. St. Clair versus Mars. Varsity, JV, has already won their trophy. Varsity going after a title too. Setting the lineup, Scott Matthews in goal. Back across the defense is Steve Kyle, Danny Poljak, and David Steen. In the midfield, we got Phil Dormish, Joe Rust, Karsten Lachelle, Joey Palladino, and Matt Wilson on the outside. We got Jimmy Belak and Will Sullivan up front. St. Clair takes the kick, drops back to Lachelle. Defense sets up with David Steen. And turnover, Mars will drop it back to their defense. Change of field. And we're into the first half, 40 minutes of play. This will be the first time seeing Mars. Mars a AA powerhouse usually. Belak steps in. Joe Rush looks for Joey Palladino. Touched away. Karsten Lachelle gathers it in. And intercepted going in by Mars. Steve Kyle turns it up the outside. Battles on the side. Shields sends it up the line. And a battle at the corner of the box. Good centering pass by Mars. Drops back out. Joey Palladino a little bit too long on the turn. And Mars gathers the ball back in. Feeds outside. And ball dropped back for a cross. David Steen sends it back out. Big flipper of a forearm comes in from the right side. And cleared out by Jimmy Belak. Belak goes up the wing. Matt Wilson on the fly. Steps over the ball, goes out of bounds. Varsity won a 1-0 game last night against host Pine Richland to get into the finals here against Mars. Wilson drops to himself. 4 players surround them, and Mars comes out with the ball. Resets to the defense. Mackenzie. Big feed in. Will Sullivan gathers it in as a forward. Run off the ball. Ball drops over to Mars. The call is right now that Mackenzie, number 21, their lead man up top, is their speedster and scorer. We'll have to see how that develops on our defensive side of the field. Will Sullivan traps the throw into the center of the field. Ball drops outside, left wing going down, looking for a cross. Ball dropped back to the 20-yard line. Karsten Lachelle, hard tackle, takes him off the ball. Joey Palladino gathers in the middle, looks at Phil Dormish open on the outside. Will Sullivan sneaks in behind the defense. Chips the ball back. Looks for a cross. Recovered nicely by Mars got 6 guys back, dragging 2 more. And they look for the runner, McKenzie, all by himself. Danny Poljak faces him up. McKenzie takes him to the corner, starts cutting in, crosses in the middle. Scott Matthews makes a dive and save going across the goal mouth. McKenzie's living up to his building, has a nice long run there. Does a cross, sets it up for his player in front. Palladino looks to chase, Belak in the chase. Jimmy had a touch, goes out of bounds. Noisemakers. Mars settles it in at midfield, drops it back. Palladino touches. Belak in the chase, they take it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Hefner's the goalkeeper, sends it back up. Drops it over the top. Hefner's a big guy back there. Dormish makes a run down the wing, looks forward, legs taken out, no call. Ball dropped back into the defense, sends open on the left wing. Plenty of field out there. Miller carries it up, and Carson Lachelle steps right in. Looks the field over, looks inside. Belak makes a turn, double teamed, ball cleared out. Palladino at top of the slot, and sends back to Steen. Steen services it in left, is it going to sneak behind that defender, goes up in the air. Will Sullivan tried to ball out of bounds. It'll be a long throw in. Danny Poljak will take this. No, Phil Dormish quick throws it into Poljak as he checks up. Serves it inside. Defender goes up, heads it out. Lachelle charges in for the ball, makes a nice play positionally, takes a hit. And we'll take a free kick at the hash marks just outside the 20-yard line on the football field. Tonight's play is pretty sharp out here. We're starting to see a lot of good ball movement. And untraditionally, we're in our red 3rd uniform tonight, going against the white-shirted Mars Planets. Steen takes a left-footed shot, drops it in. Keeper brings it out. Lets everybody track back and takes it to the top of the box. Line drive. Wilson can't trap. And Mars sends it in. McKenzie gathers the ball. Goes to the corner. He's coming down the line. Sets it up in front. In the net. McKenzie to number 26. Page. Nice quick run. Snuck around Steve Cowell. Came down along the baseline, the goal line. Chipped it back. Page put it in. 7 minutes in, roughly, the 33-44 mark. Mars Planets go up 1-0 on a goal by Page from McKenzie.
Mars goal number 25, Preston Brown.
And there's a correction by the St. Clair puts it back in play, drops the ball back. Scott Matthews comes out. Top of the box, we'll see what he does, drop kick or whether he's going to go over the top. Takes a big punt. Sends to roughly the 30 on the football field, opposite end. Joe Russ battling. Makes a touch, Will Sullivan. Joey Palladino goes down the wing. Milt Wilson's out there, doesn't get to the ball. This is going to be, again, the second time this year that we've been playing from behind. First time was in a 2-2 tie against Bethel early in the season, first game. First goal scored by Mars. We'll see how that stands up. Joe Russ tracks it back. David Steen on the touch. Phil Dormish makes the touch. Dormish looks for a cross inside. Lots of traffic. Belak misses on a flick. Ball heads out. I think he got the goal too. Brown's not on the field, I don't think. Palladino drops inside too. Karsten Lachelle drops outside. Steve Kyle touches to Wilson inside. Good touches, but in the chase, Mars gathers it in. A little bit of a double team and using the sidelines. Complete change of field. Defense drags it up to the 30-yard line. Hansel going in. Over to Page. Back to Hansel. They're down low. Steps in inside. Phil Dormish muscled. Will Sullivan gathers it in at the 40-yard line. Looks inside to Palladino. Palladino tries to go all the way across. The Wilson does. Belak inside. Drops the ball back to Steen for a reset for the Panthers. Steen goes inside to Palladino, outside to Dormish, trying to go left-footed to the corner. Changes to his right, feeds it into the defense. Will Sullivan put pressure, made a rebound, shot go back towards the net. Lachelle brings it down. Palladino comes out of there, takes a trip. This will be another good chance on a set play. Knopf tripped Joey Palladino coming across hash marks. We're on the 15-yard of the football field, which puts it about 25 yards out. Instead of backing the wall up, they back Palladino up to get the 10 yards. Palladino hooks it inside. Sullivan was blocked out. Nobody really made that run on the outside. Palladino heads forward. Belak tries to bring it down. Ball goes out. McKenzie scampers across the field. McKenzie drops back. Mid-start settling the ball. And Mars will set the offense up. Looks forward again. Everything seems to go through McKenzie. Does have the ball. Sends it across. This could be a denial of him having the ball. Just trying to shake up this forward offense. Looking for the runner in the corner. It's Page this time again. Goes left-footed. Tries to look for McKenzie down the middle. Dormish traps down. Ball goes to Mars. Page fancy foots it. Goes in the middle. Tries to take a shot. A lot of traffic. David Steen hits him in the back. And Will Sullivan. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Mars's foot. Dormish takes a hard throw. Belak not able to handle that. And Mars is taking an early substitution. Right now, we're 10 minutes into the first half. Mars 1, St. Clair 0. On a goal by Page.
Now in the game for Mars, number 5, Alex Perry.
Lachelle tries to step up, force the play. Mids have been doing a nice play of this, trying to force efforts. Big feed in, 22. McKenzie and Scott Matthews face. Scott coolly takes the ball. Scott Matthews sends a punt to about the 40-yard line, opposite side of the field. Mars tried to step up. Dormish saves it. Belak tries to get position. Joey Palladino misses the volley touch. And Mars turns a counterattack. Ball dropped inside. Looking for a turn. 5 takes it outside. Looks for the feed inside. McKenzie tries to muscle Lachelle. Lachelle comes out of the mix. Tried to look inside. Will Sullivan was making a cut to the outside. Ball went behind him. Long run. Page going to the corner. Catches up with it. Drops it back to himself. Left-footed block by Dormish. Steen tries to get it through Page. He's a little stocky guy. tree trunks for legs, blocked that ball, scrapped in the corner, and a big cross inside. Number 22 went with sharp kick right inside.
22.
Ball fed in. Okay. Headed up by number 1. Scott Matthews comes off his line. Not real pressure on that ball. Everybody's kind of standing flat-footed. And Scott will send it back into play. Low liner. Belak looks outside. Cutter was coming inside. Ball out of bounds. And turnover to St. Clair. Kyle drops it inside to Lachelle. Goes back to him, sends it across to Danny Poljak. Steen brings it all the way across the back line. Up to Phil Dormish. Inside to Joe Russ. Nice touch to Joe Palladino. Looks for Belak, making a run. Jimmy was kind of standing there watching the play happen. Good ideas happen. We just got to get the runners moving the same direction that they're anticipating. Change for St. Clair. Panthers bring in Mike McCurry in midfield for Joey Palladino. Senior captain hits the field right in the middle.
Panthers, number 10, Mike McCurry.
Goalkeeper takes his kick from the 6. McCurry right into the action, heads it up. Lachelle goes up. Ball out of bounds. Mars picks it up. Drops it inside. Joe Russ does the intercept. Got into trouble. Steen clears long. Nicely done, sent across to the outside wing. Looking to go down the field. Mars changes fields again. This could, nice hustle. Panza makes a forearm on Phil Dormish, controls the ball, drops in the page, goes across the middle. Nice touch inside, offside. That was Brown that time, 25. He did sneak in there offside on that play, right at the 18. 3 quick touches, had a chance almost. We're winding 15 minutes into the first half, 1-0. Mars Planets over St. Clair Panthers. Steen sends across to Steve Kyle. Kyle looks long. Ball skipping. Will Sullivan on a hard run, shielded, and ball goes out of bounds on the end line.
Goalkeeper.
Hafner takes a kick from his own 6. Snaps it to about the 40-yard line, gets a head flick. McCurry gathers it down, tries to send outside to Wilson. Ball a little damp with this humidity. It looked like a slip on the throw, but Mars gathers it down. Drops inside. Lachelle comes out of a pack. Ball goes out of bounds off of Mars' foot, and St. Clair will take an offensive throw. Snuck up to about the 35. Ball goes out of bounds. We're going to go all the way up to the 25. Wilson drops it back now for a big offensive throw by Danny Poljak on the far side. Like to make a connection here. Danny looks short. A little bit over the top. Ball skips past Joe Rust. Has to recover on McKenzie. McKenzie does a shake and bake going down the left side. Coming across. Kyle had to help. And again, took McKenzie down. McKenzie's a big guy, a lot of speed. He's going to make stuff happen tonight. Dangerous set play on the 15-yard line right now. Some hand checking going on the 18. Looks like number 4 going to take the kick from the far side. Look for a lot of cutters going to net on Scott Matthews. Nice little floater. David Steen heads it down. Ball's loose. And we're going to call a goal kick here. Couple of appeals for a corner. Ball was laying loose. David Steen will take this left kick from the 6-yard line. Sends it out over midfield. 4 traps back in. Steve Cowell on the toss, chips it back out. Matt Wilson reaching. Kyle was fronting McKenzie, and Matt Wilson took his feet out. Lachelle was in the middle of that too, so they know who the attention needs to go to. Lachelle being talked to, no cards issued, but McKenzie's the guy who draws attention. Ball's on the 25-yard line. Sauer taking the direct kick, using the right foot, lofts it in. Matthews coming off his line, punches. McKenzie was there, and a goal. Goal reacts. Who put it in? It looks like number 25, Brown again. Okay. Scott Matthews went up, tried to punch the ball. McKenzie came in, both of them hit. Scott Matthews is down still. We'll wait for the goal call. Number 7, Knopf was the goal.
Number 7, Andy Knopf.
Second goal of the game. Everybody was looking for a stoppage in play. And all of a sudden, we have a goalkeeper down, and McKenzie was down also. He snapped up, went back to the huddle, and a goal in the back of the net. Just at the 21-minute left in the half mark. Second goal scored by Mars Planets. 2 close-in goals, and we're down 2-0 halfway through the first period. Go ahead, pause it. Looks like we're going to go with a restart here. Scott Matthews back in goal, bent over. And we're at 20 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first half, halfway through the first half. 2-0 on scores by Brown and Knopf for Mars. Planets up 2-0 on St. Clair. Second time this year again. First time Bethel Park we were down 2-0, came back with 2-2 tie. We're going to have to battle an uphill battle here. McKenzie is the center of focus. Makes things happen up front, breaks people loose, involved in all the plays.
Now in the game for the Panthers, number 21, Matt Myron.
Matt Myron subs in, makes the touch, and looks for Wilson on the run. Ball's going too far, past the end line, and ball's going to come back into the keeper. We got Pat Davis coming in, and
represent Claire, number 22,
Anthony Caruso.
And number 12, Pat Davis.
Caruso going to play a mid. Pat Davis playing a forward with Jimmy Belak. Coach Snyder giving Will Sullivan a break and also trying to get some size into the lineup up front. Myron drops. Mike McCurry active in the middle. Jimmy Belak in traffic. 2-0. Tough score to overcome, but we've done it before. Early in the game still. We're going to make some offensive connections here. We're still playing defense. Matt Myron comes out of it. McKenzie takes a dive. Caruso on the chase in the corner. And Kyle plays it out. Leaving the ball, looks like for a long throw or 4. Sauer is going to take it for Mars. Sauer is taking it from the 5th lane, dragging it in, going long, big over the top. McKenzie again has life, ball in the middle. A little bit of a clutch and grab, ball's trickling through. And what do we have a call? Corner off of St. Clair. Sauer, the designated corner kick. Going right-footed, bringing the ball inside. Over the top. Headed by Belak. Looks like it's going to trickle out. This is going to be a throw. Mars taking the offensive throw deep in the corner. Looks for people to check back to him. Page goes across. St. Clair trying to push out. Trapping 8 guys back. Danny Poljak has a boot. Sends it over the top. Belak down the line. Ball kicked out of bounds as the defense tracks back. Pat Davis put nice pressure on. Ball drops in by Caruso. Sends it across Myron to Joe Rust to David Steen. Services in with a left foot. Belak tries to flick it. Pat Davis is there. And Mike McCurry trying to scramble from the mid position to try and get a chance up front. Belak flicks it. Davis and chase. Caruso from behind. Ball goes out of bounds. Caruso picks it up for a throw. Scampers down the line. Tries to throw into Davis. Defender reaches way around the big tree. Boots it out. Caruso inside. Bumped off the ball. Matt Myron and chase. Forces an errant pass. Ball laid out by Belak, and Russ didn't get there. McKenzie to Page. Page drops back. Steps up in. Sauer takes the ball. Sends back to the defender. 2-0. 17 minutes left in the first half. Mars Planets on top of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Foul on a check from behind. Ball's at midfield on a quick start. Sends across. Defenders dragging it up. Good speed on this team from Mars. Creating trouble for us getting out of our own end. Dormish tries to look for Belak. Sends it outside, out of bounds. This, along with Cardinal Mooney, probably the 2 quickest teams we've seen so far. Again, good speed on the outside, good ball control. They're making things happen. Mars goes inside. Sauer flicks it on the outside of his foot to the open man on the wing. Sends the ball deep. No, he's dropping. Looks now for a run. Into the corner. McKenzie parked in the middle, has a header. Phil Dormish tries to clear. Steve Kyle with a big left foot sends it out. Pat Davis tries to head it down. Goes up and over. Called for the foul. With a little assist by the Mars bench. Little big man, little foul there. Pat Davis going up high. Nice run to the corner. Intercepted by Caruso. Dropped out to Mike McCurry. Belak. We've got some connects. Made McCurry slow down, and the defense stepped right in. A couple of good connects. Looked like we had a transition game. David Steen boots the ball out of bounds. And we got Ben Walker stepping in for St. Clair Panthers, and Phil Dormish going out.
Panthers, number 20, Ben Walker. And for the Planets, number 50, Chris Carnes.
Two nothing, just under 15 minutes left in the first half. Mars ahead. Panthers trying to control the ball. Dormish drops all the way back to Steve Cowell, up to Myron. to Davis. Outside. Forgood connects. Caruso can't get to the ball. Throws in the center. And a long feed. Nobody making a run. Mars has pulled McKenzie out, so again, a little bit of a change of pace here for Mars, comfortable with a 2-0 lead. Walker makes the touch, sends it into Belak. Pat Davis making a run to the corner, putting pressure on the defense, forcing him to send it out. Ben Walker tosses, sends it into Joe Russ. Joe Russ goes all the way back to David Steen, getting dogged. Ball goes down the line, miss hit, flicked up in the air. Ben Walker tries, takes a body. We're moving on. Mars is taking the ball. Ball dropped out to the side. Page steps in. Carries across, and Belak has open field going up through the hash marks. 1-on-4. Nice step in by number 23. Rides him off the ball. McCurry tries to help out, and the ball sent into Sauer. Sauer looks like, again, a field general in the back, in the mid. So McKenzie and Sauer, ball goes through them a lot. Nice play by Ben Walker, keeps the ball in play. Nicely done. Shields, Pat Davis. We got Mars scampering around, but a stuff by number 23, and a push and a punch. Okay, Pat Davis gave him a shoulder flick. 23 gave the punch back. Retaliation. Both of them are going to probably get yellow cards. They do. Both are sent off for yellow cards. A little bit of frustration and a lot of retaliation. Davis goes out and gets subbed in by Will Sullivan. Looks like Dave McCurry standing at the center, waiting to probably relieve McCurry. Okay, with 12.5 minutes left to play, 2 yellow cards issued, 1 on each side. Ball gets sent over the top. Caruso on chase. Myron sends it up the line. Belak inside. Looks to drop, sends it across to Joe Russ. Nicely done. Just a little bit out of the step of the path of the Mars to Ben Walker. Looks to the corner. Will Sullivan off the bench. Makes the cross. No. Stops at the change feet. Drops the ball back. David Steen goes inside looking for Jimmy Belak. And ball touch. Myron sends it inside. Steve Kyle steps up, trying to get into the offense. Caruso comes back to help out. Ball drops back to Mars. Mars forced to play up the left side. Maintains control. Steve Kyle looks inside. McCurry, chance to make a turn. Does. Will Sullivan off the left foot. David Steen settles it down. Looks for McCurry inside. Looked like it was going to be too far for Walker. He kind of gave up on the play, then looked again. Almost had a chance to bring it back in. Little stutter step, let it go out. David McCurry in for the forward. And Carson Lachelle back in.
Luke Sauer.
Ball drops over. McKenzie back in the game. A little bit of a blow. We'll see how he does out here again if he becomes the focus. They looked for him. Ball, Steve Kyle sends it into the middle dangerously. Lachelle was slow in getting there. Will Sullivan grabs it. Looks up front. McCurry tried to look it over his shoulder. Lachelle drops outside the Walker. Mistouched. Will Sullivan gathers it in, sends it back for Walker, plays it off to the defender, and will take a throw. Ben Walker dancing, throws it in. Myron in the center was open. Nice look. Karsten Lachelle looking for a cutter. Hooks it right into the defender. Caruso was on the outside, started making his cut, and Lachelle tried to hit him. Defender stepped in. Ball dropped back. And out of bounds off of David Steen.
Now in for Mars, number 20, Mark.
Mike McCurry out. Phil Dormish back in. And we've just wound past 10 minutes left in the first half. 2-0. Mars Planets over St. Clair Panthers in this championship game at Pine Richland. Play kind of slowed down, and we were playing between the 18s here, back and forth. No real ball control. Good touch. McCurry sends up forward. Lachelle doesn't get there. A little bit too far of a lead. And we'll see a throw in. Drops back to Sauer. Mars carries it up. Looks left line. Continues to go. Steve Kyle. A little bit of a body bump and forces the errant pass to go out of bounds. Kyle takes a throw in. Looks inside to McCurry. Lachelle inside. McCurry tries playing with his back to the goal. Tries to make a turn, does. Gets through the defense. Inside the Dormish. Looks outside. There's Walker. Had position. Had to make a double touch. And the crisscross by David McCurry and Ben Walker ended up in a collision. Results of that, ball goes out of bounds. Danny Poljack going to take a big offensive throw into the box. Not quite over. Chance to reset. Missed touch, goes out of bounds. That was a chance for that ball coming back to him and sending it back over into the box. With 7 minutes left in the first half, Mars will bring it out from their end. Carrying down the left side. Headed back in. Will Sullivan traps. Turns one-on-one. Somebody needs to look for him. Services it in. Okay, McCurry's there for a header. Misses the far post. Nice service. Good turn by Will Sullivan at about the 20-yard line. Sent it in a little bit blindly, but floated it over the top. David McCurry went up, headed it. Goalkeeper was out of position and went outside. Mike McCurry back in. Joey Palladino out. I'm sorry, Matt Myron he subbed in for. Keeper touches the ball, sends it from his 6 to midfield. Lachelle drags it down. Will Sullivan, nice little touch outside. Caruso there on the line. Goes out of bounds. Playing this whole tournament with 2 referees. Tough to make these line calls from inside. Ball dropped back. Mars controls, and McCurry's in the midfield with the ball. McCurry 1-on-3. Lachelle stepped around, and here goes McKenzie flying down the left wing. McKenzie stops, stutter steps, takes Lachelle with him, crosses in. Danny Poljack clears right to Mars and sends it out of bounds left off side of the goal. Coach Snyder exhorting the team on the sidelines, trying to spark his defense into making some plays. Again, McKenzie's backing them in pretty good. 5 minutes winding down in the first half, 2-0 Mars. Steen takes the kick. McCurry goes up, heads it. Will Sullivan helps it over the top, and Mars turns it around. McCurry comes in, drops back to Kyle. Sullivan makes a touch, inside. Phil Dormish looks up forward to Dave McCurry. One-on-one. Gets through the legs of the defender. Defender takes him down. We'll take a direct kick from the 22-yard line going in between the hash marks. Big chance. We've got to capitalize on a set play here. Try to get one before the end of the half. Make us a 2-1 game. Right now, sitting 2-1 or 2-0. Mars ahead. Still deciding on who's going to take the kick right now. Quick kick by McCurry. Tried to catch him by surprise. It wasn't quite 10 yards. Wall wasn't set up. Tried to catch a goalkeeper sleeping and sent it wide left. That works. It looks real good. I'm not sure if Coach Snyder really wanted that quick start there. Squared up shot. Even though the wall's going to be in front of you, you could chip it over the top. With 4 minutes left in the first half, keeper takes it out. Redshirted St. Clair. Dave McCurry scrambling around, causes a foul. And we'll take a direct kick from about the 40-yard line. David Steen taking his big left-footed boot. Reminiscent of Chris Burke's left foot last year. Holding the 18. Ball goes in nicely over the top. And headed out by Mars. Another big kick. They were comfortable with just releasing the ball to midfield. Ball drops in. Across to Karsten Lachelle. Drops back. Two guys dogging Danny Poljak. Does a quick touch. David Steen steps up. Sacrifices the body. And gets called for coming in arms high. Tough there because we were trying to make the play. Mike McCurry, who had an injured ankle early in the season, taking himself off right now. Joe Russ coming in. Didn't see the activity to Mike. 3 minutes left. First half, 2-0. Mars on top. Right in the circle of the 50. Ball really served up nicely. Settles down. Tries to head it back. Gets some space for Brown. Sends it across. Squared up shot. Good interference. Ball goes flying over the top of the crossbar. Nice sequence. Started at the 50. Chipped in on a good service. Ball scrambled around a little bit. And Mars had a chance from their 20-yard line. Winding down. 2 minutes. David Steen takes the kick. Sends it over the top. Headed back. McKenzie. Defense settles it in. Up and over. Danny Poljak settles it down and looks to move the ball up the outside. Palladino on the run down the side. Nice cut back. Looks to try and do it again. Coming with a left foot, sends it inside. Ben Walker tries a header, goes up, and it goes out of bounds. Ben Walker was pinching in. We had three offensive players kind of in the same area. Will Sullivan, David McCurry, and Ben Walker. If Ben spread out here on the wing, I think Coach Snyder wanted him out there. He could have had a chance for probably a backdoor goal. We'll see if that happens later in the game. Mars content to take their time. Up 2-0. Drops the ball in. Joe Rust sends it past an errant hand. David Steen, ball goes over the top. Poljak covers for him. Ball dropped in. Joe Rust looks up. Tries to find the runners. Walker going to be able to get there. It doesn't look like. The Crown Field's going to push it out. And we're winding down to a minute left in the first half. Mars again content. They'll take their time. They'll eat the clock.
1 minute to go in the half.
Drops it back to the defense. Sends it out. Tries to get it across field. Headed by McKenzie. Backwards. Scott Matthews comes out of the box. Sends it across midfield. Out of bounds to the right off the side of his foot. And we're almost to 30 seconds left in the half. Look to McKenzie. Drops the ball back. Content to play. Sauer sends it forward. And in 25 seconds, we've got a long way to go from midfield. Palladino looks cross-field. One big spurt. Walker sends it in the middle. McCurry not there. Over the
10
top,
seconds.
Lachelle.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And at the end of the first half in the Pine Richland championship game, Upper St. Clair trailing 2-0 to the Mars Planets. Goal by Brown and Croft. We'll look forward to comeback time in the second half. Pine Richland field. Mars Planets leading 2-0. Setting up the second half starting lineup. Scott Matthews in goal. Kyle Poljak and Steen across the back. Palladino. Lachelle. Joe Rust. Phil Dormish and Matt Wilson across the middle. Will Sullivan up top with Jimmy Belak. Feeling here is again quick team of Mars, maintaining control, not giving us many chances on their keeper, and McKenzie controlling the play. Ball goes through McKenzie, nice feet outside. Man, McManning just traps it. Steve Kyle sends it out of bounds, and it'll be a deep throw offensively in the first minute of the second half for Mars. Ball left for Sauer, long thrower. And looking for an offensive throw inside the box. We've had trouble with two scramble plays in front. Ball over the top. Clear it out. Belak gathers it in. Sends it across to Wilson. Wilson tracked from behind. And Mars has the ball. Dropping inside, little flick. Brown caught offside. Ball was to the first player on the flick. He missed the flick, and Brown made the curl well before the play got there. Offside call. See who's going to take this offside start. Over to David Steen. Left-footed, he'll take it from the 15-yard line on the football field. Steen sends it over the top. Headed back in. McKenzie brings it down inside. Nicely done. Footed down. Crosses inside. Drops back. Like we said at the beginning, Mars definitely a good, strong AA school. Looking to knock off the Panthers here, 2-0. Looking for a come-behind play. Palladino gathers it in, looks inside. Belak's there. Oh, he was nice. Had split the defense. Ball got inside. Didn't make a good trap on the ball. Kyle sends it up. Palladino, four-man trap, got beat. Drops across Lachelle. Inside the Dormish, looks outside the Wilson. Drops back to David Steen. Ball goes over the top. McKenzie on a run. Grabbed it on the sidelines. Sends it out. Off of Danny Poljak coming over there to cover. And McKenzie caused the corner. Corner's coming from the right side of Scott Matthews. And Sauer's going to take this play. He's going to drop it in with the right foot. It's going to be coming across and going to the 18. Some interference in the goal mouth. Goes low. Headed out by Poljak. Will Sullivan checks back. Little touch by the defender. Sends it over to his man. And they're back in on the run. Man's onside. Little too far. Sauer was coming out off that corner kick, and he was up front. That was an interesting play because Sauer comes from the back on the kicks. But he was the odd man up, and they looked open on the wing. Steen takes a left-footed kick, sends it out, headed down. Lachelle tries to chip over to Palladino. Ball goes inside. Poljak outside. Kyle looks upfield. Belak steps in and changes the play. Goes over the top. Scott Matthews gathers it in. Line drive. Bounces up. Wilson drags it in. Mars gains control. Ball drop back. Sends it across the defense, and defense is going to drag it up. Palladino sticks a leg in. Triple team on the corner. Collapsed on the ball, but then let it go. Goes to the open man on the right wing. Chips the ball inside. Looked right at McKenzie. Hit him on the thighs. McKenzie goes up. Looks for a call from behind. He's real angry.
Get out your 50-50 raffle tickets, please.
That was a bad play. St. Clair sends it down the left line. Goes out of bounds.
216922. That's 216922. If you have that ticket, please take it to the concession stand.
Mars is going to be comfortable again with a 2-0 lead to play ball control, but they are looking to push the offense against the St. Clair defense with McKenzie up front. And again, long ball trying to spring him. He wasn't ready for that play, and Scott Matthews gathers it in at the top of the box. Punts across to the 40, over top of Wilson, out of bounds, and Mars will bring it back in. Ball laid back to the defense. Oh, instead of coming across the back, they go inside. Sauer taken from them. This time they swing it across the defense. Steve Kyle steps in. Lachelle grabs. Steen tries to look inside to Phil Dormish. Steen plays it off the defender. And on the push gets the call. Steen takes a left-footed kick inside. Lachelle drops out to Joe Rust, up to Dormish. Nicely done outside to Wilson. Wilson serves it on the ground. Belak double teamed in the middle. Danny Poljak steps way up. Tries to mix it up in the middle. Ball goes back. Lachelle to Poljak. Poljak looks like he wants to spark something here. Wilson onside, drops it inside. Will Sullivan's there, cleared out by the Planets. Mars, a little bit of scramble play at their 18, sends it out of bounds. 8 minutes into the second half, 2-0 in the lead. Mars over St. Clair Panthers. Ball out of bounds. Steve Kyle drops in, short to Palladino. Inside to Russ. Russ looks open to Dormish. Dormish feeds into the goalkeeper. Saw it all the way. And comes to the top of the box to send it out. At the top of the box, Hafer sends it all the way across the 30. McKenzie on the run. Danny Poljak went up to defend. Sent out of bounds. 2 balls involved on the field. And we've got Matt Myron coming into the midfield for Phil Dormish. Ball drops back. Sauer is going to control. Steps between 2 defenders. Steps around a third. Tries to chip inside. Ball taken away by Palladino. Tried to serve inside. Belak traps. Nice step back, dogged from behind. Myron outside. Palladino looks open to the wing on and had a Matt Wilson streaking down the left side. Ball never got over there. McKenzie on the run. Tries to step around Poljack. Poljack sends it out of bounds. It'll be shielded and will be a Mars deep throw-in. Page drops in, looks inside the McKenzie, standing in the box, runs up behind Poljack, takes the ball. Poljack in the offensive play right now after that chase. Look for Belak past his foot. And we've got 4 white shirts surrounding it. Goaltender content with trying to pick the ball up in his own box and eat up some time. Winding down 10 minutes into the second half at about the 30-minute mark, just crossing. Belak looks to send Sullivan in. Didn't make a touch on the ball, sent out by the Mars player. Deep throw in, Wilson drops back. Steen serves it up. Sullivan heads it, Belak was offside. And keeper will bring it out. Comfortable to eat some time up. Sets it up at about the 5-yard line on the football field, making it about the 20. Kicked out over the top. McKenzie tried to help. Ball drops in. Nice touch by Belak. Sends Palladino down the side. Is he going to take a shot? Filters it inside. Keeper comes out. Protects the ball in front of Will Sullivan. Ball sent out. Carson Lachelle sends it back. And Mars gathers it in. Palladino steps in. Be nice to see us pick up the pace here and try to get some pressure. We're still playing somewhat of a passive defensive position. Hoping to see a break down the wings, and it's not happening. Will Sullivan in chased. Kyle fronts the man. Lachelle steps in. Trips him as he goes around. And the call goes against the Panthers. Sauer at about 35. Sets the ball up. He's going with a right-footed in-swinger. 6 white shirts from Mars. Standing on the 18. Ball chipped over nicely. Page missed the header. Ball goes out of bounds, past the end line. And Steen will take the kick from the 6. David Steen steps back. Takes a left-footed kick. Line drive. Headed back in. And Palladino drops the ball into Matt Myron. Ball follows him. Myron pushed off the ball. No call. Steve Kyle tries to delay the play. Does a nice job at containment. Ball goes out of bounds. Turnover for Mars. Kyle throws it in. Palladino sends it in the middle. Sullivan heads it. Belak looking for a runner. Sullivan has Belak and Palladino with him. Poljack heads it down over top of Joe Rust. Rust does a touch. Mars gathers it in. And ball goes out of bounds, dribbling across the sidelines. Steen throws over the top. Belak heads it and flicks. Nicely done. Dormish in the middle of the field. Looks Palladino too far, way too far. Definite idea of a runner going down the side. Coach Schneider's okay with that play. We got to make it connect. Keeper again taking his time, bringing the ball out, steps up. Hasn't had really a difficult save to make. Sitting on a 2-0 lead. Mars. Ball dribbles in the middle. Dormish on the chase. Starting to look like the 4 games in 5 days taking a toll. We're starting to stand around here. People aren't tracking back as well as they were during the early part of the week. McKenzie goes down to one knee, goes off. He must have either cramped or maybe got whacked as a Charlie horse. Mars sends Brown in. Has the 1 goal, has one of the 2 goals. Ball settles back, goes inside. Myron goes to Dormish. Holds Wilson up, makes him go back for the play. Joe Rush to Myron. Palladino looks the field over. Inside the Belak, plays it off his thighs. And the ball dropped back across the defense of Mars. Flicked ahead. Polejack tracks back. Being dogged pretty hard. Brown goes back on Polejack. Gets open on the outside. Crosses inside. This ball's between the hash marks. And Phil Dormish steps up to try and keep that shot from happening down the middle of the field. Brown does a cross. Tries to hook it inside. Rust heads it out. Played off number 50. And Wilson will take, we got an army of subs waiting to come in for St. Clair. They were just running up to center field waiting for a throw-in. And we have Lachelle coming in. We have Mike Pizzone, Pat Davis up top. Anthony Caruso comes to the close wing. And Dave McCurry checks back to the ball. McCurry heads in. Dormish drops it back. Polejack sends long. Nobody running.
Clear number 16,
And
Mike
gathered in
Pizzone.
by the goalkeeper. Steps to the top of his box, sends a high punt across midfield to the 40. Hand checking going on. And Pizzone gets the call. 40-yard line free kick. Mars coming in. Short drop. 22 goes to the corner. Page wasn't ready for that. It looked like he was going to go to the net. And then a little dump off for the crisscross. Wanted to get across and play out of Page. He a little bit too far. He was flat-footed. Polejack takes the kick. Up to Pizzone. Lachelle sends it outside. McCurry loses it out of bounds. Mars throws. Pat Davis tries to reach for it, slithers past his foot. Myron sends it out off the side. Deep throw, Kyle intercepts. Myron tries to turn it, sends it up. Pat Davis tries to get position inside. Caruso does a touch. Myron sends it all the way across. Not far enough to get to Pizzone, and Mars does a counterattack. Mars works her way into the box. Triple teamed on the sidelines. Pizzone knocked out of bounds, and we're going to take a free kick from the back. Danny Polejack taking the kick. 19 minutes down in the second half. 2-0 the score. Mars leading Upper St. Clair Panthers. Pizzone sends the ball out of bounds. And Mars will take the throw in. Ball dropped back to the defense. Defense drops inside. Nobody home. Phil Dormish intercepts the play. Goes down the sidelines. Tries to drop in. Dave McCurry gets there. Can he curl through? Chips the ball up and over the corner of the goal. Ball must have been tipped by the goalkeeper also. We're going to a corner. Phil Dormish taking it. Just passing the halfway mark in the second half. Ball dropped low. Poljak has a chance. Takes it. Goes the crossbar. Hits the crossbar. Good take. He had a lane. Everybody had collapsed into the wall in the 18. The goalkeeper saw this shot coming in from Pizzone and gathers it in. Good idea. Danny Poljak stepped up, took the shot, hit the crossbar, and the keeper sends it out across midfield. Crusoe heads it up out of bounds. Mars drops it in. Back, looking for a service. Tried to get space, sent it down the line. Forced Kyle into playing it out of bounds. Offensive throw. He has about 5 or 10 more yards to take. They're going to change it to Sauer to take a long throw into the box. Looks like anything down below the 15, Sauer's going to take for the long throw. Goes in deep nicely. Ball headed. Sits on McKenzie's foot. He couldn't see something. I don't know whether it was the light or whatever, but he saw the ball coming over the top, couldn't see it. It hit his foot. He was dead smack in the center of the field and missed it. Poljak will take the kick. Helped out by Myron. Gathered in by Sauer. Chipped over the top. Poljak readies for the hit. Does the forearm. Chases the man. He'll probably get a card out of this. Referee's coming across field. Calling time, pulling Poljak over for a yellow card. He probably would have got away with the first hit, but he went back after him. Going off Danny Poljak. Subbing in Joe Rust. Clock stopped at 19:03 in the second half. We haven't given them 10 yards. They're going to get pushed back. And this is going to be a dangerous play. McKenzie taking it from the top corner of the box. Scott Matthews lining his guys up. 19:03, second half, 2-0 Rams. McKenzie's going to swing this around the wall. He does. Scott Matthews was there, traps the ball. Matthews looks to take the punt. Top of his box, sends it out to the 40. Judged by Mars. Hard run to the corner by 50. Cuts it inside. Nice corner. Nobody trailing. McKenzie was almost in position. Scott Matthews cuts off the cross. Matthews low line drive across the 50-yard line. Ball sent back in. Matthews is going to have to gather it. Mars will play ping pong, staying on our side of the field here right now with a 2-0 lead. Right at the top of his box. On the push. St. Clair gets the call. Matt Myron looks for a start. Players track up. Myron sends it in. Dormish tries to trap down. Matt Myron has to step up again. Lachelle in the middle of the field. Takes it outside. Karsten Lachelle drops inside. Usually a big hitter out here. He hasn't seen a lot of contact. Tries to feather it in to Phil Dormish. Dormish outside. Kyle tries to send it in. Mishits. Line drive. He's caught up. Run goes to the corner. Is going out of bounds. Down 2-0. Legs are starting to get heavy here. And we got substitutes coming in. Caruso out. Palladino in. Will Sullivan in. And Pizzone and Belak. Pizzone makes a save on the sidelines again. Ball's called out. Throw in by Mars. Taken down by Pizzone on a try of a curl. And it's a free kick in our back third again. Some of these mistakes that we've been starting to create here have started turning into foul calls, direct kicks, something we haven't seen in previous games, and it's starting to wear on the Panthers here playing defense a lot. Ball drops in, nicely served, headed out by Belak, playing way back to help. Ball flicked in, man was offside, come from an offside position, couldn't take it, Sauer tried. And it'll be a throw-in by Mars at their offensive 30 of the Panthers. Chases down the line. Steve Kyle heads it down right to the foot of the Mars Planet. Ball doesn't track down, inadvertent hand. And St. Clair will take the start. Myron to Palladino. Palladino works across, looks inside for Lachelle, past him. Dormish gathers it in. Up front, Belak does a little flick. Looks for Pizzone cutting down. Tries to pass. Sullivan doesn't get there to the end line. Made a good effort on the run. 15 minutes left in the second half. 2-0. Mars content to keep the ball out of their zone. Panthers trying to mount a forward offensive rush. Keeper taking his time, setting up on a 6. Sends the ball across to the open right wing. Right defender takes it up. Looks forward with a long ball. Drop back. Sauer being the middle general. Drops back to the defense. Sends it across. Push from behind on Palladino. And Myron sets the ball up for David Steen to take his kick at the 50-yard line. He'll try to drop it in on the 18. Doesn't make it quite there. Helped in by Dormish. Still forward. Myron hard hit. Going for the ball. Call goes against Mars. Matt Myron got an elbow in the chest. Myron sets it up for a free kick. Looking for the 18. Ball goes in liner. Palladino comes across. Myron sends inside. Lachelle. 3 guys. Ball fed in and out by Mars. Joe Russ sends it up. Ball drops back. Myron brings it in. Crossing 13 minutes left in the second half. 2-0. Mars Planets over St. Clair's Panthers. Ball control game, keeping it out of their back third. This is what Mars is looking to do. Forcing the Panthers to chase. Guys have been out here a long time. They're getting some tired legs. You can see them falling behind the play. Palladino tries hard to make a run. Getting dogged from behind, goes across the middle. Left-footed. Lachelle goes up late. Myron tries to bring it down. Kyle sends it forward. And ball goes out of bounds off of Mars. Some fresh lengths coming in. Danny Poljak comes in, playing a mid position. David McCurry coming in and playing mid position. Benny Walker goes up top. In the back, Kyle, Rust, and Steen playing in the back now. Poljak moves up to the middle. Palladino, Dormish, and Walker now in the mids. Will Sullivan and Belak and Mike McCurry playing like a three-man top. David McCurry, I'm sorry. Mike McCurry, since he went out with that ankle turn or whatever, hasn't been back in. Belak tries to look for a runner. Sullivan. Dormish over the top. Sullivan's there. Looking for a call, no call. We're onside. Out of bounds. Coach Snyder exhorting a good throw in. Poljak takes it long. Headed back out, steps in, takes a shot, sends it away up over the crossbar. Winding down, 10 minutes left in the second half, 2-0 Mars Planets in this Pine Richland tournament final. Keeper takes his kick from the 6. Sends it across midfield, gathered in by Poljak to Dormish. Poljak back. Kyle tries to make the centering pass. Drops out by Page. Good scamper across by the back defender. Will Sullivan steals. McCurry came from an offside position, got away with it, and it's, oh, that floater. David McCurry takes a shot from about the 20-yard line, sails it up. Keeper parried it over top of the net. Looked like he came from an offside position, just tried to sneak in there, got away with it because it's two-ref system. And we'll take that little chance to get some space and take a shot. Winding down, 9.5 minutes left. Corner kick, Phil Dormish. See if we can find somebody to connect, make this a score. Ball in low, nice header, it's in the net. Danny Poljak takes a line drive from Phil Dormish, coming in the corner at 9:25 left in the second half. That could be the spark to get this team moving here. Poljak from Dormish's feed, line drive, off the keeper, goes into the corner panel. Little bit of geometry played there with angles and header.
Number 2, Danny Poljak.
9:25 left in the second half. Panthers making a game of it, bring it back 2-1. Try to force the play here. Poljak moved into the mid position, makes it pay. Ball sent way forward. McKenzie again hobbled. Took a hit when he went through. Scott Matthews gathers at the top of the box. Coach Snyder's going to start exhorting Scott to speed this play up because we need a chance to get another goal. Not touched by Belak, takes a shot on goal. Keeper saw it all the way. New theory is that this keeper hasn't seen many shots. Let's get him peppered. Like to take better quality than that long shot. Joe Russ misses the touch. 50 cuts inside, feeds, and David Steen takes it out on the right side of the goal. We'll take a corner kick there because that was tough. David Steen checking back and oftentimes turns into an own goal with a defender checking back that way. This will be a corner for Mars. Roughly 8 minutes left. 2-1. In swinger going down low. Scott Matthews goes up, side of his arm. 23 misses the post. Scott Matthews went up, tried to parry, didn't get the full hit of the ball, got it down on his bicep, chopped it down, and 23 was parked right at the top of the penalty mark. Sailed it wide. Ball over the top. Steen to Belak. Poljak goes back to back with McKenzie. Gets the call. And Mars will take the free kick at midfield. We're going to drop it in over the top here from the 50-yard line. Straight down the middle. Kyle heads it out. McKenzie, or no, it's not McKenzie sitting inside. Big shot. McNaughty takes the shot from the slot, hits the crossbar and goes over the top. 7 minutes winding down here on the Panthers. Down 2-1. Steen's going to take the kick from the 6. We're eating up 15, 20, 30 seconds right now. Steen sends it over the top. Dormish. Ball trapped. Page tries to go in. McKenzie taken down by Steve Kyle. We're going to have another shot right up the gut, right between the hash marks. And Steve Kyle's getting carded for the hit on that. McKenzie gets plenty of attention from the referees, plenty of attention from the players. Bouncing right back up, getting in the middle of the play. Clock stopped at 6:28 for this free kick off the penalty call and the yellow card. Kyle subbed out. Sauer drops low around the page, looking for a left foot, plays it off of Danny Poljak coming across, and it'll be a corner. Little bit of change of pace rather than curving around the wall, dropped it around the wall, and Page tried to get a left foot off. Danny Poljak came to cover. And let's see if this is Sauer taking the kick. Yes. Goes across, headed up by Jimmy Belak. Ben Walker on chase. Makes a little touch off the forward coming up. And Rust will take the throw. Ball goes over the top. Five minutes winding down. Steen, or it's Poljak. No, it's David Steen pulled back. Plays into Poljak. Drops up to Dormish. Inside Will Sullivan. McKenzie on the run, taking Poljak. Poljak makes a nice slide tackle. The ball sends it out of bounds. Good defensive play. Gives us a chance for a restart, but it's an offensive throw. McKenzie drops it in. Page makes a touch. Will Sullivan checks back. Sends on the run. Joey Palladino. Palladino goes left-footed over the top. Everybody's onside. Who's getting there? Walker didn't get there for a quick left foot. Defender cut in front of him. We had four runners. Belak, Walker, McCurry, and Sullivan. And Palladino made a nice left-footed swing over top of the 18. Tried to get him loose. And we're winding down with 4 minutes left in regulation. 2-1 in the championship game. Panthers trailing. Mars keeper takes the kick. Helped out by Will Sullivan. Dropped in. Joe Rust chips the ball. Lachelle looks. Sends it behind Poljak. Page is left foot, right foot. Takes the left foot. Scott Matthews blocks it. Sends it in front of him. Picks it up. He's got to exhort these guys to get it stepped up. We're down a goal. We've got to get some desperate play. McCurry plays it off the defender. We got to hustle up. 3.5 minutes left. Danny Poljak taking a big throw in. looking to make a play happen. Ball chested out. Takes it out. Oh, we gain maybe 5 yards out of this throw. Poljack will try it again. Ball headed up off of David McCurry out of bounds. Sauer going to take the throw. Panthers checking back. They've got to make an intercept and go on offense again. Ball didn't come in. Turnover. Poljack's going to take the throw. Big chance into the box. Big send across field. McKenzie, the only man in chase. Out of bounds off the Panthers. Winding down to 2 minutes left in the second half. Regulation play in this championship game, 2-1. Mars Planets over St. Clair Panthers. Into the corner. Try a step around on Joe Rust. Double team by Walker. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to go Panthers' way. Deep throw. Rust tries to hurry it up. Mars taking the ball down into the corner again. Trying to set up McKenzie in the middle. Poljack comes out. Mars controls. Phil Dormish. Mars worked through a double team. Jimmy Belak, long legs, gathered that in. McCurry in an offside position, but play was to Will Sullivan. Dogs the man, makes the steal from behind. McCurry's in front. Who's going to hit it? Oh, it was Phil Dormish. Goalkeeper made a save, gathered it up at the 6. Will Sullivan made the cut, sent it into McCurry, sent it across. Dormish didn't get 100% of the ball down. At 1 minute, that would have been a nice goal to tie this game up. Not to be. Ball headed forward. McKenzie on the chase. Matthews hits the ball. Top of the box. May have caught a boot. Matthews is down in the top of the box. McKenzie went over top of him. We're at 40 seconds left in the game. Scott Matthews down for the second time. Involved with McKenzie. Matthews will get up holding his head. Looks a little dizzy. Heading back to the net. 40 seconds left in the game. Ball dropped in. Steen sends forward. Carson Lachelle goes into 2 guys. McKenzie steps inside, trying to get a last-second shot. Feeds up front. Number 2 wide open. Joe Rust comes across, gets a piece of it, changes directions on deflection. Scott Matthews goes down, hits off the post with 15 seconds left. 10 counting down for a corner.
7, 6, 5.
They're still going after the ball. Scott Matthews punches the ball out. Mars takes the shot right into Joey Palladino. 2-1. Mars takes the championship, and the Panthers end up runners-up in this Pine Richland tournament.